contacts to the contact tracing team, and these details will guide the surveillance team in monitoring you whilst you're under self quarantine. Big question that comes up: do the people I live with also need to self quarantine? Well, the Ghana Health Service is saying that other members of the household are not required to self quarantine unless they meet the criteria as well. If you develop signs and symptoms of COVID-19, members of your household may be classified as close contacts depending on your interaction with them and will be required to self-quarantine. It's therefore important to implement effective self-quarantine. Now, what should I do for effective self-quarantine? If you're self-quarantining, is there a word like that, Kojo? If you're in self-quarantine, what you should do is stay in an airy room away from other people. If you're working, stay at home for the entire duration. Ensure that you have adequate food, water, hygiene provisions. Ensure that you have necessary communication facilities. Always wash your hands with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth with a single tissue when coughing and sneezing. Stay away from pets. Avoid sharing toothbrushes, utensils, dishes, drinks, towels, cloths, or bed linen. Clean and disinfect frequently. And if you develop acute respiratory infections, including fever, cough, sore throats, and difficulty in breathing, please call for immediate help. The telephone numbers are, and I'll give you 5 seconds to grab a pen and paper or your phone. The telephone numbers are 050-949-7700 or 055-843-9868. If you do not comply with self-quarantine orders, you will be placed under mandatory quarantine. And I love that the Ghana Health Service is talking to us about what to do to keep your spirits up whilst you're in self-quarantine. They're saying that talk to other members of the family, reassure young children using age-appropriate language, think about how you have coped with difficult situations in the past, keep in touch with family members, have plenty of stuff to read, exercise, drink water, eat well, maybe Netflix, or whatever it is that brings you joy. So these are the self-quarantine measures as outlined by the Ghana Health Service.
Quick addition: anyone has a pen drive of nice movies and series that you can watch in the self-quarantine. But please tune into the news. Monitor the news a lot. I've been monitoring what's happening internationally, and you need to watch what is going on so that you know.
I was just going to say, perhaps we shouldn't encourage people to do piracy and have pen drives of movies. Pay for them. If you download them legally, that's fine. But
they were legally downloaded.
Were they?
Yes, they were.
Oh, of course. Even the fact that you're asking is problematic.
Let's move to the headlines.
Okay.
Downloaded movies. All right, then now, who's starting?
You can start.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. Okay, I've got the Business Finder, and in the banner headline, COVID-19, GPHA bans ships from high-risk countries. What will be the impact on availability of products? Also, Bank of Ghana fights COVID-19, outlines measures to cushion economy. Banks write off 22.7 billion Ghana cedis in 2019, and customer satisfaction our focus. That's according to the Bond CEO, whose birthday is today, by the way.
Well, happy birthday to you,
George Ofosuhene.
That's who he is.
CEO of Bond Savings and Loans.
The song is in my head, the Bond song. Yeah.
Let's move on.
It's
okay. Anyway,
happy birthday, sir.
All right, so the Ghanaian Times for this morning says 29 foreigners refused entry into Ghana over COVID-19, and COVID-19 update. Ghana's economy faces meltdown as petroleum receipts, FDI, international trade, others affected. That's according to the finance minister. And Ghana Medical Association backs calls for suspension of mass registration in exercise in the Eastern region. That's talking about the National Identification Authority's mass registration for Ghana card. Still on the front page, 3 Ghanaians confirmed dead in Europe from COVID-19.
On the back page of the Daily Graphic, Immigration Service receives equipment to combat COVID-19. Police arrest 42 suspected criminals. And on the front page, NACOB makes largest cannabis haul. EC submits instruments on voter registration to Parliament. Rename Agric Ministry, that's according to a think tank. 31 foreign nationals denied entry, 9 quarantined. Attorney General seeks legal backing to COVID-19 directives. And there's a special supplement on COVID COVID-19 inside the Daily Graphic.
All right, I've got the new crusading guide, and the banner headline is Suspend Registration. GMA warns NIA. Also on the front page, Kwame Joe donates to prison service to help improve conditions against COVID-19. 3 Ghanaians killed by coronavirus in Europe, Foreign Minister reveals. EC will go ahead with compilation of new voters register, and NDC declares 3 days of nationwide fasting against coronavirus.
And the Daily Statement says Transport Ministry spells out COVID-19 safety measures for trotro drivers. Gradual progress in COVID-19 fight. China begins vaccine tests on humans. And finally, BOG cuts policy rate by 150 points over COVID-19.
Okay, the Daily Guide, public resorts to Apeteshi to fight COVID-19. COVID-19 kills 3 Ghanaians in Italy, Denmark. Imposition restrictions bill laid. The EC seeking legal backing for new register. Ofosu Ampofo trial witness is in quarantine. And Emirates and KLM suspend their flights. On the back page, coronavirus strikes another Juventus star, and we know that it's football season has been called off pretty much, hasn't it? Yeah.
Postponed, not
postponed.
cancelled.
Sorry, postponed. Yo.
Graphic Showbiz and coronavirus event organizers lose big is the large headline here. Also, Amma Krampa says, I never stopped believing in myself. And an actress called, is it Helioti Sumney? I hope I've got that right. Says, take active roles in the fight against coronavirus. And she is talking to other celebrities.
All right, so the Business and Financial Times says, Coronanomics. Bank of Ghana takes swift action to keep economy on front foot, cuts policy rates by 150 basis points to 14.5%. Up to 100 Ghana cedis Momo transfers free, Momo thresholds shoot up, and bank envisages GDP growth dropping by some 2.5%. Also on the front page, Tourism Authority pushes tax reliefs for industry players, and COVID-19 World Bank Group increases response to $14 billion to help sustain economies and protect jobs. Okay, so...
Yes, let's do the websites now. Government denies claims Akufo-Addo has tested positive for coronavirus. That's the top story on myjoyonline.com. There's also all 7 coronavirus patients in stable condition, Ghana Health Service says. Ghana's ability to fight coronavirus to be tested in coming weeks. That's health experts speaking again. Now, they are warning of more possible COVID-19 cases. That's the information minister speaking there. That's on citynewsroom.com. Ken Thompson predicts tough times ahead over COVID-19. Coronomics still featuring starfm.com.gh coronavirus. It's now free to send 100 Ghana cedis and below via mobile money. COVID-19, Africa should prepare for the West. WHO says. That story is also on bbc.com. WHO warns Africa to prepare for the West. It's on the Africa page. Worship in churches and mosques suspended in Kenya as well, not just Ghana. Mauritius confirms first 3 coronavirus cases. WHO's warnings there. Now, the Thursday's wise words on the bbc.com is a child who has no mother will not have scars to show on his back. A Nigerian proverb sent by Mangwak Majong in Rumbek, South Sudan.
Anyway, I like that one.
But I don't know if I like it. Marks on their back.
A child who has no mother.
That's celebrating child abuse.
The Nigerians who thought of this, they are very wild. Anyway, guys, one of the main features of yesterday's news cycle was that update by the Information Ministry. I like it because there were various sector ministers, various professionals who came to give their story and their update. We'll begin by hearing Dr. Bedusa Akodia. He's the head of the Disease Surveillance Department of the Ghana Health Service, the Public Health Department, of the Ghana Health Service. Listen to what he had to say about the number of cases in Ghana.
None of the contacts yet have been confirmed as suspected case, and all of them are being followed up and are doing well. Seems that this is the contact for the first 6 cases that were detected. The single case that was seen yesterday adding up to 7. The contact tracers have gone out. They are yet to come back to enable us to receive their report. So by close of today, I believe the total number of contacts that are being followed would increase. Thank you very much.
Dr. Bedu Sarkodie there, he's head of public health at the Ghana Health Service. Now, the Deputy Controller General of the Ghana Immigration Service also gave an update on what's happening at our borders.
On the 16th March, we refused 2 Italians entry who were traveling in on Air France. In fact, we did not allow them to disembark because we normally have the travel advice from the airline to screen it and see who is on board before they come. So the 2 Italians were noted on the Air France flight, and the team went in, the joint team of the Ghana Immigration Service and the Port Health authorities went on board and explained the situation to them, and they were refused and they were not allowed to come back. They returned with the flight. Yesterday, 17th of March, 24 Chinese were refused entry, and also 1 German, also under the same circumstances, with a kick-in of the travel ban at 1 p.m. This morning, there is an incident in Abidjan. The airport is closed due to an incident on the tarmac. So flights were being diverted to Ghana. In consultation with the civil aviation, all those flights were refused landing and sent back. 1 Ethiopian Airlines flight that landed without permission. The passengers were not allowed to disembark. They were refueled and they continued on their journey.
And that's the latest that is happening at our borders and, of course, at the airport. Let's now hear another interesting part. The Transport Minister, Kweku Feresiama, gave an update of what his sector is doing to keep us all safe.
What we need to adopt the Ministry of Health directive of continuous washing of hands for various bar terminals. Commercial operators or the transport operators need to provide adequate running water with soap and how do you call it? What bucket? You said cylindrical bucket. You have to put the water in it to make sure that it's soap for them to wash their hands. Provide sanitizers at their loading terminals for use by their drivers and passengers. Correct information on passengers boarding passes at various lorry terminals. This one will enable us to trace. But if there's a need for us to do some tracing, it will be simpler for us to do that. Provide sanitizers in their vehicles and ensure their usages by the drivers and passengers. Open the windows of air-conditioned buses to allow for natural air circulation at all times. Wash the external and internal parts of their vehicle thoroughly with soap, detergent before loading. Spray inside the vehicle with Ministry of Health approved spraying materials before and after every journey. Avoid overloading, standing passengers, and as much as possible, try and
So if you're sitting in a trotro this morning, which of these measures have you observed? Was the car sanitized before you sat in? Do you see a hand sanitizer there? Did you wash your hands before you enter the bus? Are you observing social distancing in a trotro? Tell us in 0244 340 437, but Coronomics.
Exactly, and so let's get into the details. The Ghanaian Times talks about how Ghana's economy faces a meltdown as petroleum receipts, FDI, international trade, others affected, and that's according to the finance minister. So you know that we actually estimated that we'll be getting about some $56 to $58 as revenue from a barrel of crude oil. Now it is less than 30%, so that's about less than $30. So that means a 50% reduction. Clearly, that affects the revenue we're expecting from that particular sector. And also, when it comes to international trade, import duties would be affected, and that would go a a long way in affecting the economy. But there's been some measures that have been put in place, and so if you look at the Business and Financial Times this morning, it talks about Bank of Ghana taking swift actions to keep economy on front foot. Now, the policy rate has been reduced by 150 basis points, so from 16% to 14.5%, and primary reserves of the banks has also been reduced from 10% to 8%. What that means is that the banks would have a lot of money, and so it would improve or increase liquidity within the system.
They can give more loans.
They can give more loans. So if you felt that we didn't have a lot of money within the system, these measures are to ensure we have some monies within the system, but also to assist industries that would want to, around this time, help us fight COVID-19.
Right, and thanks. It's now time for us to move into the BBC News. But before that, the online news review was brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goil Good Energy. Now, Goil has released onto the market a higher grade Super XP Raw 95 for all consumers. From now on, all Goil service stations are offering higher grade Super XP Raw 95 at no extra cost to our cherished customers. Consumers no longer need to pay more for any higher grade petrol specification, so you save money by buying Goil Super higher grade Super XP. Visit any Goil station and experience less vibration and less noise from your engines, as well as better fuel economy for your vehicles at the same price. Choosing the right fuel is an important feature in maintaining your vehicle. Choose the right petrol, choose Goil. Goil Good Energy. Goil Yenara Yedia. Now, as we all join in the preventive measures against the coronavirus pandemic, Zenith Bank encourages you not to panic, but to protect yourself and others too. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, clean your hands with sanitizers, and avoid large crowds. Remember to call the COVID-19 MOH emergency hotlines 054 949 7700 or 055 843 9868 if you show any symptoms of coronavirus. Now, to our valued customers, whilst we encourage you to use our 24-hour electronic banking channels, please also be assured of your safety at all our branches. Customers may also call Zenith Direct on 054 2000 111 for 24-hour assistance with any inquiry you may have on our electronic banking channels. Zenith Bank, in your best interest. This is the Super Morning Show. We'll be back.
Bro, I feel your ride.